Yeah, we did.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the Darien Beautification Commission meeting to order, please. We have currently 5 present. Charlotte, are you on the Zoom? Okay, so I think we have 5 present. Hopefully Melissa will be here soon, which will make us 6. And we're not going to have Amanda. Oh, great. Melissa, we're just getting started.
I'm
Great.
so sorry,
We
guys.
have 6 present. No, welcome.
Perfect.
Okay, today is Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. It's 9:17. We're at Darren Town Hall, room 119. Present, we have Colleen Calvitis, Alicia Pepperone, Elizabeth Hull, Melissa Kelly, Sarah Schwartz, and Tracy Whiteman.
Whitehead?
Oh, Whitehead helps if I get your name right. Sorry. I was just talking to someone else if other wasn't. And I'd like to call the meeting to order. First on the agenda, we have to review the minutes from our last meeting on July 14th. Does anybody have any amendments or adjustments to the minutes? No? Okay. Does anyone want to make a move to approve those? All right, Tracy?
Second.
Thanks, Melissa. All right, those minutes are approved. Let's move on to the treasurer's report, please.
I gave you a copy of
Thank
where we ended up last June, 3 months ago, and then beginning of this fiscal. And so we were given our money in July, and there was a $5,000 adjustment. We had to give something back.
Yes, so that had been for the flags,
Okay.
and so that money had been allocated to us. It got put back into.
Okay, all right, because I was, doing the treasurer's report, I'm like, Selena, you're telling me my original budget's this, and here I am, and I have one entry. I know it's not high math, but where's my $5,000?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
So we're looking at it, and she finally, she said, here, this is what happened.
Great,
So,
great. Okay.
anyway, so we have just that one charge from Elder for the watering through 7/31. He's got another invoice he didn't get to me yet. I'll probably get it this week. And that'll be all the August watering. I'm gonna have him take the baskets down this week too, because they're just looking tired. And I meant to do it like 2 weeks ago, but we'll get to the baskets later. I know you have a tidbit on that. But anyway, so just that one expense from Elder, he did do, he finished up a bunch of the gardens, so all of them have been cleaned a second time.
Great.
So, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nothing exciting.
All right, thank you. Anything else on that? Okay, let's move on to item number 4, Instagram, website, email, correspondence update. From the email standpoint, I don't have anything new to report. Anything from Instagram that you want to mention?
Nothing except I'm just seeing the benches for the first time, so I'll take a photo of those on the way out and give Seasons 2. Could you just remind me, Seasons 2 fully donated them, is that correct?
Well, they sold them to us at their cost.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So,
Okay.
We paid, the town paid
yeah,
the
Okay.
taxpayer money, but at Seasons 2 gave it to us. The cost didn't make any
Got it.
profit.
Okay.
and they installed them the day of the election, thank you very much, in case I wasn't busy enough.
When was that? Was this?
August 13th.
Okay.
As I'm running around getting an extension cord, hanging it out of Susan's office so they could drill them in.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Regarding website, I did get some feedback from somebody that our website is out of date. So
The
actually
website is what? Sorry,
out of date. It was actually the former chair, so she had mentioned that it's out of date. We should update that. So we should do that.
So what exactly, remember it had to go through like a whole bunch of different channels and had to have approval?
I think the website, we can just give Linda our updates.
Okay.
So,
So what do you want it to say?
do you wanna sit down, like maybe separately?
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we
we'll
can
have
just
coffee.
kinda
Or
clean
we
it
can
up.
just
Yeah.
have a phone call.
Yeah, exactly, and clean it up. I don't think we need to do major stuff, just take out whatever isn't accurate. I
Yeah.
think the issue was the the train tracks
Yeah.
and the berm, it says we maintain those. I was
We
like,
do not.
we should take that out, cause they're not looking great, so, that was the thought.
Well, I know the other piece was a lot of our termed positions on this that have expired.
Well,
Mhm.
that I couldn't update those.
Right, and then
That
when we
wasn't
had
allowed.
checked in about getting renewed, like I think myself and maybe some others submitted the new paperwork, we were postponed for meeting with the board maybe until like July, and then that never happened, so.
Great Island's been like the pressing thing, and it's like, okay, but there are other things that we need to do here in town, it's not only Great Island. And so, I think John is gonna start doing those, setting up those interviews again. so
Okay,
Anytime now.
okay, great. All right, so, moving on, weeding, and, unless anybody else has anything on that. Weeding and pruning report.
Well, the weeds remain, the three of us have been busy.
Busy.
We've been busy, we've gotten, we've maintained the circle here at Town Hall. And I think we have it looking pretty good. We deadheaded a bunch of the roses a few weeks ago. Colleen pulled a bunch of the ferns last weekend. I cleaned up a section of the left side of Habitat Hill and knocked down a lot of the tall stuff and cut back some of the asters, which have gotten so out of hand, and a bunch of the goldenrod. But we did that a couple weeks ago. Before that too, we did the other side. So we've been, trying to, maintain that. And I always hear nice things from people here at Town Hall that they say, Town Hall's never looked prettier. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, great.
Just
No, I did get 2 compliments. I went over to Hollow Tree Ridge and the Post Road and kind of weeded that and pruned it all back, and 2 lovely compliments from people that
Good.
were passing by.
Good,
And
and
the
thank you
compliments
to
too at
Summer for
at-
jumping in and pruning that right
Oh,
after
yeah,
we got
yeah,
this. It was so
yeah,
nice to be
Summer.
able to have that addressed within 24 hours of getting that, so thank you for doing
I
that, yeah.
didn't realize like how much, and it was summer
Tons
already.
of traffic right there.
How much, traffic there is right there. But what I didn't get, and I wrote to you about this, I think, is that, I guess somebody complained because they can't see, like if they're turning right, you can't. But if you're turning right, you have to come kind of beyond that garden anyway.
Mhm.
So I don't know how, but anyway, I made it all shorter, and I asked a couple of people who were stopped there when they were turning, like, can you see? And they said, that's
Yes,
fine.
get out of my way.
Yeah, so I
Right,
made it
yeah,
short enough.
yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, and
And so
I've done,
yeah, go ahead.
no, the butterfly garden I've done a couple of times, I just did that again last week. What I know what I was gonna say, about how the things are getting so tall, like the, New England aster here on Habitat Hill. I have a New England aster around my mailbox, and then the other really tall one that has yellow flowers?
the rutabaga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I had to do this because deer were eating them, so I trimmed them down, and now, at this time of year, they haven't gotten really, really gigantic, but they have bloomed.
Right.
So I think next year,
Next year we're gonna get on top of it early.
we just
Yeah.
retrim and then they rebloom, but they stay shorter.
Right.
So we'll have to remember to do that next
Yeah.
year.
It does look like the deer have been eating the hosta because we divided that hosta and it's gone.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, yeah.
Or the rabbits, either one,
Yeah,
but, yeah,
okay.
Thank you, great work.
so, and
Yeah.
did you have on here about the hanging baskets? We'll take those down this week and we'll clean out the planters. I may leave the 2 hanging baskets on either side of the front
They
door.
look
'cause
nice.
Those 2 look nice, so.
Yeah, I just walked by I just noticed one of the planters was really happy, great.
Well, the problem is the Pantherus, which looked really pretty initially, just overtook everything.
Is that the trailing?
Yeah.
I was wondering if we could change that up for next year.
Yeah.
Maybe
I-
just a
next
different trailer.
You know what, next year I think I would like to just go back to the petunias and,
They're so pretty.
yeah, and just do the wave petunias. We've had great success with those. And maybe do the dark purple and pink and white again, or dark purple and light purple and white. We can talk about that in the next meeting, but
Because that's what's looking bad in the
Yeah.
baskets in town. It's not necessarily, and I think they're just
it
walking
choked
out
out
or
the
choking out the
petunias.
petunias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if it was just the petunias,
Yeah,
or maybe petunias and ivy, or petunias and crepe and Jenny, we
yeah,
might have a better look.
yeah. yeah, so, yeah,
Great.
so we'll,
Let's talk about that next week,
Yeah.
I mean, next month, and if you guys can.
I'll
have
talk to
some-
Heather and get some ideas
some-
too from, the nursery and, you know, see what she's,
So next month is October meeting, and then when do we place that order? Is it November?
November.
Okay, so next month we have to decide, so why don't we all come prepared? And I'm looking at this direction, because you guys have the knowledge of the plans. So I'll lean on you guys for suggestions.
What's that called, the one that we have now that's choking?
What Tantharus?
Yeah.
P-L-E-C-T-A-T-H-A-R.
Just start spelling it in your computer while autocorrect.
Okay, or not, because it's a
Eris.
I have a related question, so with
Figure it
those
out.
coming down, is it possible as they're coming down for us to put the veteran flags up for Veterans Day, to have those up? I guess it would be for like the next 7 weeks,
Well, the flags are up.
but they are?
Flags are up.
Oh, they've been up this entire time?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I stopped like seeing
Yeah, I
Okay.
was like, wait, what? Yes, the flags are up.
Okay,
I think our bigger question is gonna be when we take them down.
yeah, I guess post Veterans Day, right, at this point, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, before the wreaths and stuff, I would think.
Well, should we then wait? When is Veterans Day?
I think it was like the second week of November.
November the 4th, November the 5th.
And the baskets can't make
Maybe
it till
November
that
the
long?
Oh, no.
11th. No.
No, okay. All
Plus-
right,
It's on November 11th.
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
I think that's a nice idea to leave the flags up. Like,
Yeah, I think they look nice.
And are we clear on where those will be stored this year and who will take them down?
Well, Public Works will take them down for us.
Will or will
So-
not?
Well,
We had a whole lengthy conversation with them and the fire department. I just can't remember where it was left off.
I think it was left that when they went up, that
That
there was an
it.
agreement that, no, that they would come up and come down. But
Okay.
I'm glad you bring it up,
I'll
I'll
check with Ed.
ask Ed. Yeah. I'll double check with Ed, and then I'll double check about their storage as well, so those are,
I happen to notice, because here in my dicey little hands, our new planters arrived last night.
oh, I was wondering.
That's so exciting.
But they were supposed to call me before delivering them, and they did not. So
Are they
delivered-
here?
They are here. They're not up top yet. They delivered them in the back of the building by
How
the
the heck are we supposed to
garage.
get them around?
Well,
Public Works.
I had Dave came and saw me this morning. I was like, Gracie, I'm like, oh no, what did I do? And he goes, you got a delivery yesterday? And I said, and it's really heavy, right? And he goes, 841 pounds heavy.
Yeah.
So they're going to unpack them and try and, because they're so busy, because they've got a big event at Great Island in the next week or two. So they're really busy, but he's gonna try and get them moved up here so they'll go on either side of the new benches. So we'll get those hopefully up this week or early next week.
Okay, so actually, that's great, so we're gonna have 2 new planters.
3.
3 new planters, and also you said we're removing stuff from the planters?
So is this
So,
a good time to put
is
in the
this
bigger
a good-
boxwoods?
Is this our time? This is our time to do what we're gonna do. Do we have a budget? We have a budget to do it.
Do we have budget for it?
We have a budget.
Won't those boxwoods, they'll get bigger?
I mean, like, in like 6 years. I mean, they only grow like, I mean, they do grow fast, but they don't
Yeah.
grow like,
Oh, okay.
they don't grow like a weed, you know, they grow
Right.
much more, much slower. I mean, they just look so little.
Hmm.
But if it doesn't bother anybody besides me, then
Well, what are our plans? Like last year, I know for the first time you planted them for fall. What are our plans for, cause the hanging baskets in the urns for now look good, so maybe those make it another, 3 weeks. Then what will we do?
if a larger plant goes into the planters, then it will reduce the seasonal amount, and I did not do them last season, Tracy did them. Didn't you do them? I did
No,
not
you
do
didn't.
these. I did not put this in.
I think you planted
You
the
put the
boxwoods.
pumpkins in.
I did last
Yeah,
fall. I
last fall.
apologize, but I didn't do this past season.
Yeah, this
Right.
spring.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So I think that we were able to do that cost effectively because they were hanging baskets.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that in general, if we have a larger plant and I go and I put in cabbages and, ivy, it will just require a lot less if we have a larger plant taking up space. I can't remember
Should
how
we-
much I paid last year.
It wasn't a whole lot, I mean,
It's just, and the other thing is
I
that,
think it was around $450.
I think if we go to Home Depot rather than the garden center,
To
we'll
get
do
large.
much better.
to get large boxwoods.
Well, no, I meant to get like the cabbages.
I'm happy to do that, and if I'm the one doing it, I literally live at Home Depot, so like, I'm completely happy to do it. The reason I went to Garden Center was just because of the previous,
Right.
I was just trying to follow the footsteps that we had previously been doing. But I think this is a good time to invest. The problem with bigger boxwoods is that I cannot install them myself, so we need to have Public Works do it. I can buy them.
Or perhaps elders.
I don't think Public Works will do them, I don't think they do
Well,
that.
then maybe Elder
So
will
we'd
do
have
it.
Elder do it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. I think it'll make the long-term management easier if those are more right-sized and occupying more space. Because I'm also thinking back to what you did last fall, and I think scale-wise, with the size of those boxwoods to like the cabbages, it's
It's
going
gonna
to
be
look
silly.
low, and then
Yeah.
I worry it, you're almost like miss it to some extent.
When is the appropriate time to do planters for fall?
I'm doing them now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so then, perhaps we should just make a decision and vote on this, but would you be prepared to do all of these planters?
Yes, I can do these planters, but I need the boxwoods done independently of myself.
And before.
Or-
But can you coordinate
Can
that
we-
or no?
What if we
Yeah,
hold
okay,
off,
okay.
can we hold off maybe and do the boxwoods in the spring? And just make do this year?
I think the size of those boxwoods is too small comparison to the size of those urns. I think to me it looks mismatched. I think they're beautiful boxwoods, just,
And what are we gonna do with them? We're not wasting.
oh, absolutely not.
Yeah,
We can find a great spot for them. They're definitely not go to waste. But I'd like to see those urns. We're now gonna have 6
No.
matching,
No, there's gonna
7?
be
9,
9.
Wait,
I-
no,
10.
10.
Yeah, I
It's
think
an
they're
even
gonna
number.
be a real like showstopper, so I think we should just, it's the fall, we should do it now.
So I've never worked with Elder before. Is Elder willing to like go with me to Home Depot or go with me to wholesale to like pick these up? I mean, I can't
Yes.
transport large.
Yeah.
I'm like just a small shop. Like I don't
Yeah.
have anyone who works with me. Like I only plant small planters. So if
Okay.
I don't have like a truck, I only have my vehicle. So I need someone to if I'm in charge of like big boxwoods, which I will take it on, but I need him to go with me
Well, I
to
have a
get that.
question.
Minutes.
So what would the price differential be between getting these at Garden Center? Because I remember hearing that too, that we were
Huge.
supposed to shop there.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I'm
we're not
certain they
supposed
would
to.
just
We just
drop
have an
them
account.
off.
Well, so
Right.
the garden center isn't carrying boxwoods
Oh, okay.
in our size, and Sean told me that he was not planning to get them. Boxwoods
Okay.
have had a blight recently.
Yes.
Right.
Now, it's not personally affected anything that I've done, but I know it's a big deal, and that's why people are moving to ilexes, and like Tracy's point, and we can choose an ilex or something like that. They're very similar, but that size and that scale, he's not carrying them at all. So we have to get them elsewhere anyway. I mean, I just got an account at Site 1 down in Greenwich. And I'm perfectly happy to buy them at my cost savings and pass it over to the town, obviously.
Will
But
they deliver them?
no,
But if you
I don't
select
know.
them and pay
I
for
don't
them,
know.
and
I'm
they
not a
just
big,
need
I'm
to
not,
be picked
I'm
up.
sorry, I'm not a huge, I'm just me. So I'm not like, people spend thousands of dollars at these places. I don't know. I can find out. But yes, if I buy them and I
Yeah,
go,
and they're
then they
set
need to be
aside
picked
and then
up.
at his convenience
They need to be picked up
perhaps.
by someone with a pickup truck and who has big strong arms.
And you don't have a landscaper that you work with,
I do have a landscaper that I work with, but I
Could we
thought
do
that
that?
at that point,
or no?
I mean, I have my personal landscaper. I don't have a landscaper that works with me on my business.
Yeah.
But my
Okay.
personal landscaper would probably do it, but then we don't have like 8 quotes.
Right, and then
Yeah.
if we're waiting a couple weeks, I feel like our personal landscapers are gonna be busy with like leaf removal
That's
and
right.
stuff, and I don't, now kind of feels like a good window.
Right, so
when
if I
people
can call
have
my
time.
personal landscaper, I mean, he's a lovely man, he'd do anything for me. So I mean, I could ask him to do it. I mean, but then we would be paying him to transport and put them in these plants. So I don't know if using elder, and I don't know elder, but I don't know if using elder is just a better solution. And I know you always coordinate with him. I'm happy to coordinate with him on this effort. If you want to pass a relationship, or if you don't, then that's fine too. I don't care.
Doesn't matter to me.
To me, it seems that if one person's managing it and
Yeah.
like,
I'm fine.
And if
I'm
you're-
fine to handle it if he
if
wants
you're
to
fine
work
to
with me.
handle it, if you're fine to keep the costs as low as possible, as you
Of
possibly
course,
can,
of
I knew
course.
you would. But keep it as low as possible and get them done in the way that they would they'd look professionally done.
I will do
Then
that.
in my opinion, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But we can definitely vote on that if
Yeah, it keeps it more simple.
it keeps it simple, then you have a project and you can be responsible for it and get it done.
That's fine with me. I can do that. I just
Okay,
need
great.
to know that someone else is. I just need to be clear that I cannot personally install them.
Yeah, sure.
I will
Yeah.
install the decorative stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Should we vote on that? Or do we have an agreement? Let's vote on it.
Do you want me
What
to
would
try
we be
calling
voting?
Elder
Yeah.
and see if he can do it, or you wanna just have your guy do it?
Well, that is a town issue, right? I don't care who does it, but I don't. The last thing I want to do is get my hand slapped because I was in a situation previous with this committee that I felt that I did something wrong, and it made me feel not good. So if I am not going to get in trouble for using my landscaper, then that's fine. But because Elder's approved by the town, I think
Right.
I'd rather use Elder.
I agree.
Okay, all right,
Then you don't have to mess with any of that stuff.
Right.
all right, great.
Exactly.
Alright, well, we
So-
can make arrangements to buy them.
I could buy them if he's and you could give me a cell phone number and we could say, pick
I
up
mean,
at X
I
point.
do have a pickup truck, so if they can load them in my truck, then I can have Elder meet us here to unload them and plant them.
Oh, okay, great. Whatever is best.
So,
But if you're buying 10, and I've seen your truck, I don't even know that 10 would
well,
fit
we
in
might have to do a
there.
second trip, or maybe Elder could meet me down there with his truck. He just usually has a ton of stuff in his truck.
Home
But-
Depot and Stanford, I mean, despite me going to say
Right.
one, whatever, Home Depot and Stanford is so well stocked.
Yeah, it is.
And I'll go there anyway, so let me go there first and then I'll text
Yeah,
with
they have a
you.
nice nursery,
They have
actually.
a very nice nursery and kind of a frequent flyer there, so I'm sure they
And they
would
do
mind.
those bulk discounts, actually.
But it's 20 or more.
Oh, I thought it was 10.
I'll double check.
Well, and not long after this is doing holiday planters.
And this is very appropriate.
Yes, and if that's gonna be, say, 12/1 and you're doing this 10/1, it's really.
Well, it's always, fall is always so short.
Yeah.
Always, because it's like kind of hot and people don't think about fall, but then it's like you're just flipping them over really quickly.
Yeah, those look so nice last year though.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they really,
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
really nice.
you're very talented.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
we got that?
So wait, is
Good.
that voted on, like
So-
we're okay?
Well, what are we voting on?
Yeah, we didn't need to
I'm
vote.
not sure what we're voting on.
I was just gonna say that we are all in agreement that Melissa's going to purchase 9, 10 round boxwoods for those new planters and
Install,
seasonal,
have them installed.
and get them installed, not do it ourselves, but get them installed. And some seasonal, not a whole lot,
Yeah,
but
cabbages and mums.
Cabbages and mums to make them look very festive.
And I will have a goal for myself to have those planted and installed by October 1st.
Great,
Okay.
I like it. That's great.
So this will be, probably like 1,000, maybe 1,500.
Oh, I don't even think it's gonna be that much.
For the
But-
boxwoods?
For the
Well,
whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
That's
it's
not bad.
Yeah.
bald, I mean,
No, I think
we'll
that's-
see.
I agree, I think we have,
I have another place that can get me cabbages even cheaper than Home Depot, so we'll figure it out.
yeah,
We probably have to vote on that.
I
since
think
it's
so,
money.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, so does anyone wanna make a motion to approve spending money on the planters, 10 planters?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Tracy, great, all in favor?
Yes.
Aye, okay, great, approved. Thank you, thanks for doing that, I look forward to seeing those, I think that makes a big
Yeah.
difference and will look gorgeous, so.
Oh, good.
That's
I'm
great,
excited. I'm
yeah.
The, one of the gentlemen who works in Public Works here in town, his son is a Boy Scout and they do wreaths. So if we're thinking about doing the wreaths
Oh, yeah,
around,
great idea.
then I would love to give that to John's son, cause he's working on his Eagle Scout.
Great,
So,
Love keeping that.
and he's always looking for projects that his son can do. So,
Great. Let's bring that back up in
I'll
whenever
gladly-
you
I'll find
get
out-
information on
I'll
that
find
sale.
out what the size of the wreaths is and how much they are and when they'll be available, and we'll, you know.
Terrific.
Yeah, I'll find out from John.
Thank you, that sounds great, I'm excited.
And we already have our new wreath for the front door.
And we have our new wreath.
Well, we have wreaths for the front
Yes,
door and wreaths for the side door.
I know.
I was just rearranging my basement the other day and they're in boxes like bigger
I-
than me. I was like, what are those? Oh, that's right. I also, by the way, of our bulb planters, you know, I have the 2 bulb
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
planters.
yes, yes.
So if anybody needs those, I'm happy to get them to where they need to be.
Speaking of bulbs.
I have
don't
2
you have all those
cases of bulbs in
I
my
forgot
garage.
about that.
And my husband went,
Oh,
sorry. So,
Isn't it, when is it bulb planting
probably
time?
can
It's
start
coming
planting
up.
now,
All right,
Yeah, it's good, you can plant them now, yeah.
you know.
But we could wait too. I'm gonna be gone from Saturday until September 30th. So, I mean, we could do them easily in October,
Yeah, when you
right?
speak, it's stagger it too, I mean,
Do you
Yeah.
know
and we
where
have to
you're
figure out,
placing them?
well, I was thinking we could put a bunch of bulbs around all the trees that were planted in the meadow here, you know, so that would be pretty, it'd be
Sure.
something. And they're daffodils, so the deer aren't as apt to eat them, unlike tulips.
Where's the meadow?
Right down here, where those trees that were planted that had the baskets around them over here.
Yes.
So, so we could, you know, lose a bunch of them there. You know, we can always put some down by the senior center, we could load that area by the
That'd be
left of the
nice.
front door, that'd be pretty.
Mhm.
You know, wherever you think, we could put some down by the sign coming into Renshaw, load that up.
I think that'd be really
That'd
pretty.
be very
Maybe
pretty.
even coming
Yeah.
off.
We
I
have a
think
lot of
things coming
bulbs.
along the post road too are
Yes.
very
Yeah.
Like
nice.
high
Yeah.
visibility.
But-
High visibility.
Yeah,
Like to build up underneath that sign
Yeah.
by Whole Foods when you're coming off of exit 11, to just put some dirt and just kind of plant some, I know there's dirt there already, but it might be nice to have a little bit of a,
There are also plenty of places that aren't adopted gardens that are still town signs, town,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah, I
something
mean,
else.
just, I'm happy to give anybody a bucket of them,
right.
and they can put them where they so
Well,
desire.
should we do that, like divvy them out, and then we can each borrow the tool and, I don't know, at our own pace?
There's 2 tools.
2 tools. And we should probably plan out who's doing what, but,
Yeah.
I mean, there are 7 of us, we could divide, what are there 2?
Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't take long, it's just,
No.
it just takes time.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not strenuous, but it takes time. So we could put them in some of our adopted gardens. The only thing like.
I don't think we should do that though, I mean, it's tempting, but then if, they might get lost because we don't know what's gonna happen with
Yeah,
those, and
yeah.
it could be a waste.
Yeah,
So I'd rather see them go where we know there's not gonna be any upheaval of dirt.
Mhm.
It would be pretty on the top here, like where the hydrangeas are,
Yeah.
around the circle.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
we
there's
could
some
definitely do
space
some
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and do some here in the Veterans Circle and whatnot,
Yeah.
so yeah, we could definitely, I think we can,
What about right at the entrance to Great Island too? You know those 2 really pretty stone gates? There's like the front of those stone
Well,
gates.
they're widening the road there, so I just
Oh,
don't
is
wanna
that-
make any,
Do you think that they would take down those stone gates?
I have no idea.
no, I don't
Got
think
it.
so.
I don't think so, but
Because they're gorgeous.
until we know, I wouldn't wanna
Okay, very good.
mess. But I agree, I like the idea, but, how do we wanna leave this? Should we, our next meeting is October, is that too late
Well,
to decide, or you wanna decide now, October
If,
9th?
if Melissa, if I can get one of the tools from you,
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm at Town Hall every day. If you can make your way down here, if you're down in town.
Yeah. To bring it to you?
That'd
For
be
sure.
awesome,
But yeah, let me
Yeah.
put it in my planner. I'll do it tomorrow.
okay.
I'll help
And I
you.
can- And I can snag my girls
Why
when
don't,
you're not
since
traveling.
why don't, since you guys know, like have a good sense of why don't you figure out where they should go? And then
What
divvy
office
it
are you
up,
in?
no reason that
Okay.
just the 3 of you, I'm happy to jump in and help out. I just don't know that I can always meet the same times, but if you just gave me a
I
handful,
know
I
that
could
you're a
always
working
come.
girl.
What office are you in at Town Hall?
I'm in the registrar's office, first door on the right as you walk in.
Okay, I'll bring them to you tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm here from 8 to 1.
Have it in for right after
I
pickup.
have an
Drop
idea
off.
as well for the daffodils at both, at Middlesex Middle School and the high school, underneath the Darien High School sign
Oh,
and
is
the
that
Middlesex
pretty?
sign, it's just dirt,
Oh.
nothing
They
else.
used to
Very
have
good
something
idea.
there.
I
They never
love that.
replanted, huh?
Middlesex has, I think, like 2 sorts of like evergreen little shrubs left, but
Yeah.
there's like
Yes.
2 on one side and none on the other.
Very sad.
So I think each school has a beautification committee, I'd be happy to reach out to
Sure.
them, but I always just notice that it's just dirt, and again, that's something that thousands of people are seeing every day, and
Sure.
kids,
It's a
I think
great
it'd be
idea.
nice to have like a cheerier entrance.
We can use them wherever, because I mean, they didn't cost us any.
Yeah,
So-
how many do we have total?
Oh, what do we say?
Like hundreds, right?
Yeah.
Because
said
you
you had
probably,
100.
those signs are about like 3 feet, or maybe 4 feet wide, like you'd probably want 40 under each of them.
Oh, we can spot that.
But then
That's
guys,
great.
you know how daffodils after they die,
They
Yeah,
look
they're so
ugly.
ugly.
yeah, they're so ugly. So, what's gonna happen, like how do we,
Well, again, I think, I'm
Up and
pretty
down
certain these
after.
schools have beautification committees. I mean, I could even, when I reach out, ask them if they'd like them for free to plant them.
oh, that's true.
But then they could trim them, and I noticed before school start, I think whoever the grounds I don't know if it's the town or who covers school grounds maintenance, but before school started, somebody did weed and mulch it, I saw it Middlesex, and, so yeah, I don't know, but
Okay.
But I like that idea, even better if we can donate and then they can do the work too.
yeah.
You say, yeah, we have
Yes.
these, do you have we'd
Oh,
like to
yeah, we can
donate
put
these
some.
to you guys
Maybe
and
smile,
you
give
can
them
Well,
plant
and a
some
little
over there.
partnership, 'cause I feel like each elementary school has a gardening or beautification committee as well. I don't know, we've never done anything with them, and
Yeah, I
it
know
seems like
Gilly had
an
one.
easy
Yeah,
thing.
They had
That's a
little
great
garden
idea.
group. Yeah.
or even Girl Scout groups, you know, or
Yeah.
Boy Scout groups, but
Another spot that'd be pretty to put some would be over Amy's Smile.
Mm-hmm.
We're always looking for
Yeah.
stuff to fill in there, so.
Mhm.
But again, yeah, you're right, we do have to go back though, and make that a project to just, cut them back after they die back, which,
Yeah.
doesn't take a lot of time.
No.
Well, and it's probably better if adults are planting them, like I know it's easy to like accidentally plant them the wrong way or not deep enough and then some animal digs them up.
Mhm.
I don't, should I reach out to the 2 schools?
Sure.
please,
Yeah, that'd be
that's a
nice.
great idea.
Thank you.
That'd be great, Alicia, thanks.
Such a good idea. I drive by Middlesex like every day, 3
Yeah.
times a day.
Mhm.
That'd be very lovely.
Yeah, it would be, it's a great idea. Thank you.
I wish we could do tulips on the top here, but we do have deer around it.
Oh, I
We got
tried them
tons of
once,
squirrels
they got
No,
shot,
forget it.
yeah, they got
So.
eaten immediately.
Of course, if we got freebies, we could, but.
Okay, are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Updates on filling 2 commission spots. Charlotte, is back at school, that's where we have the Zoom. Charlotte, are you on? No.
Yes, I
Oh.
don't think I can hear me though.
Hi, we can hear you. I don't know if you can see anything. You're at the front of the room, can you see anything?
Yeah, I can see you guys.
Terrific. Oh, good, that worked out. Well, thanks for dialing in. And Charlotte, do you want to give an update on your status?
Yeah, I reached out to Linda about getting an interview position. And she basically said, like, we're pretty busy with people. There's, like, a lot of people online, so, she'll email me when they have one, but, I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know, I haven't heard from her in a minute, so.
No, she just lost her husband,
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
All right, so there's nothing you can do. So we'll just wait. Maybe follow up with her at some point, but not now. It sounds
So you're
like.
quietly on our commission.
Yeah. So you're quietly on our commission. You can't vote yet, but I love you dialing in. So thank you. How's school?
It's going well, thank you for asking.
Good. Does anybody have an update on a second commission spot? Someone to fill that? Melissa, last time you said a neighbor was interested.
She is not interested.
No longer interested. All right, and I don't have any leads. But I haven't thought about it in a while, and I haven't mentioned it to anybody in a while. But let's all continue to mention it in our social
I'm
activities.
gonna make a note. We can always put that at the top of our website, right?
I definitely can.
So let me make a note to email
Yeah.
her.
Thank you.
I'll repost that we have an open position, like I know that's how we got Kirsten, like on the Instagram, so I think sometimes people do see it, and
Right,
whenever I do post that, I do get maybe one person will reach out, so. I'll
great,
put
thank you,
back
that would be great.
Is it legal to post on our own Instagram about Darien Beautification Commission? Like, I have not a huge set of followers, but a little bit of a set of followers of people who are interested in
I think
plants.
so.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if that's legal or not.
So I know there was recently an issue with the swap shop, and they were saying for a town commission, it can group, it has, but if you're a personal person talking about
Yeah,
beautification, I don't
just
see any
sharing
problem with
something
that.
you're doing, you're like, I
Just
think,
sharing something, I
yeah.
think that's totally loud.
I think
'Cause I'm
that
thinking
was
if I
more
made a
misrepresenting
That's correct, I think someone was misrepresenting.
Oh, yeah,
in
she
an
was.
aggressive way.
Yeah.
She was
Yes.
she was doing some wild stuff.
Yes, so I think as long as we're not going down that
No.
path, we wouldn't.
Can you imagine? Beautification member goes rogue.
Well, when I first interviewed, somebody said, when I interviewed for the registrar's job, they said, oh, well, you might have to come out with beautification. I said, is there a conflict between weeds and voting? So,
Yeah, so I actually think it would be fabulous, and if you could maybe get people, or link to
I
her.
mean, people might be
Yeah.
interested in the planter process out here. Maybe I'll do a little story on it and tag
Yes,
beautification, and then
Or
Alicia
if
can
it's-
repost it.
I have an idea.
Or a time lapse of you
Of doing it.
putting it together.
I don't really do time
love
lapses. I'm kind of
stories.
dumb. Maybe she can help me with that.
I have an idea, Melissa,
Mhm.
because I'm sure, and this is something I always wonder, but then I hire people to do these,
Mhm.
but if you have clients, you could almost, because you're not gonna hold this, you'd hold it maybe at your own home, but not someone else's, but you
Right.
could invite people to watch you or join you for a little
Planting
lesson
session.
on fall planters, like talk
I've
about
actually
it.
done that at the Museum of Darien. It's an interesting idea.
That's a good idea.
I don't have the space for it at my house. Just like
Yeah.
not that I don't have the space, but I'm like the correct space.
Yeah,
But
well,
maybe
just,
I'll
like
talk to my
crowd it around
friend.
a porch, like this is actually kind
Oh,
of
that's a good idea.
conducive for watching, especially around that, not necessarily the front doors, but the circle part,
Elevate benches, you could sit down.
Well, maybe I can hire my husband to come and take a time lapse of me doing the front ones.
yeah, something.
Yeah.
And put them on the weekend.
Yeah, or even just a stand.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Sometimes as I paint and I've done time lapses for those, and I just put it on a box and just.
Sometimes I get self-conscious when I do things like that, because I'm like, these people think that I'm like really narcissistic taking pictures of myself.
But a time lapse, you can't really see anything,
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is what I love about the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
lapse. I find them fascinating.
Okay,
I love
very good.
time
I'm
lapses.
gonna, I will document this process.
If you can, that would be.
I can, I will figure it out.
It's very cool. I think that's very
That
cool.
does sound cool.
Yeah, and then you can link it to your website. you put it
Right,
on
and then we
ours,
can repost it on ours.
Yeah, I think it's great.
Mhm.
Okay, so item 7 is report on new benches and urns. I think we've covered that. So we can move on to 8, update on Darien Bloom's project, our new name, formerly Adopt a Garden. So I'd like Alicia to take over because she did a big presentation to the Board of Selectmen on their August 19th meeting.
Oh, great.
So thanks, Alicia, take it away, tell us about it.
Yes, so I think Sarah sent the video out, I'm not sure if anyone watched it, but I was able to speak for over 15 minutes and everybody seemed engaged
I've seen you
and
in the hallway.
interested. What?
I've seen you in the hallway on the television.
Oh, does it replay
Yeah.
the
It does
meetings?
replay.
So basically I walked them through the background of the program, let's see, kind of what we've been up to the past 2 years in trying to document it and relaunch it, the quotes we got from ELM for the individual gardens, the pricing on that, what it would cost to both plant and maintain them for the next 3 years. The outreach Sarah and I did with community partners like the Chamber of Commerce, Baywater, other businesses. Let's see, we talked about the option of having sponsorship of bricks versus, a collective fund of money versus signing individual gardens. So basically at the end, each of the selectmen spoke, and kind of the number one compliment we got aside from this project was about the hanging baskets. I feel like that's kind of what we're known for the most in town.
I think it was early in August.
The main concern that people expressed, primarily John, was the ongoing longevity of this project. So, you know, collecting the money that would cover us for 3 years, but then what going forward after that? Also people, you know, this commission does have a decent rate of turnover, and if you don't have people on the commission, you know, willing to maintain and oversee this on an ongoing basis, then what happens? We did briefly discuss, you know, projects that aren't as fragile, like plantings, where you could raise money, do something that beautifies the town, but then you don't have, it's not such a high maintenance project. Trying to think of any other questions that they had. Sarah had put together this great presentation, which was sent in advance, and it did seem that everyone had reviewed it. I just wanna flip through real quick and see.
Why don't you talk also about how it was left?
Yeah, so it was left at the end. So the purpose of the meeting was part of these steps to get this approved for us to go out and fundraise. And step 1 was meeting with the Board of Selectmen, getting their approval. Step 2, meeting with the Board of Finance, which coincidentally that meeting was the next night. And they did not vote to approve it. They wanted to meet offline about it and come back to us with questions. It seemed primarily about, you know, this continuing on beyond the 3 years that we were suggesting fundraising for up front. So we're actually meeting with them later this morning to discuss that. So we did not meet with the Board of Finance the next night because it was pointless, because we didn't have the selectmen approval yet. So that's kind of where everything was left. And then one thing that Sarah and I discussed since we last met was having like a tagline, like not just Darien Blooms, which is fabulous, but I think I had suggested a collection of our town's botanical gardens, like something that just like explains it a little more, and I also think it like zhuzhes it up. I don't know if anyone has any other suggestions or thoughts on that.
Seems like a good idea.
I think it sounds great.
Yeah, I do too, I love it.
Yeah, so that's where it stands, and then I suppose next month we'll be able to reach out regarding, you know, this meeting we have later today. But overall, everybody was very supportive and appreciative, I think, and naturally, and this was something I had said to Sarah as well, like, you know, it's a lot of work, not only what's been done the past 2 years, but then to actively go out and fundraise and, you know, get like official quotes and a contract with someone to maintain these. And then, you know, to be honest, I don't know that in 3 years I'm gonna be on this commission. At that point, it'd be 6 years on the commission. Like, I don't know what the rest of our status would be, like, you know, who's going to maintain this program? Because it's not something, you know, at least like the baskets are a once a year, you know, purchase, and then it seems to be a good system of maintaining them seasonally. I mean, this will be something that requires year-round oversight.
Well, not to mention the fact that the baskets are funded by the town, this
Yeah.
project is not, so
Right.
it becomes is
Yeah.
it an ongoing fundraising question or not?
Well, and if you ask a business, let's say, I don't know, this February for a donation, and one donates $1,000, 3 years later, do they wanna donate $1,000 again, you know? So, I suspect that's gonna be a lot of what our meeting is about, and, so that's kind of, I think that's about it.
So we'll have more to report after this meeting, so there's not a whole lot of updates on, I mean, this is a huge
Yeah.
update, but there's not a whole lot of progress since that,
Yeah.
from our end, so.
Well, and
We'll
it continues
have
to
see.
make
Bless
me
you.
glad that we've gone about this in a like slow, thoughtful, data, you know, information driven way versus just like starting to plant or whatnot. And I haven't heard from any, you know, really the only sign that remains at a garden, I believe, is on Near Water and Post.
There are two, there's Near Water and Post, I've seen that one, and then there's that garden that's actually not on our list, but it's off of
Berkshire.
I-95 South.
There's a third one then.
Oh, and where's the third one?
The Power Squadron Garden over by.
That's
the
on
boat
our
club.
list.
By the boat club.
It's back on our list, it hadn't been on our list for a
No,
while.
it's been on there for the past 2 years. There was a text message last summer wanting to take it off, but we can't remove it because of a group text, so that's still on there.
Okay.
What's the 95 South?
So if you're on 95 South and you get off at exit 10 from 95 South, so the dump is on
Yeah.
your
Ledge
right,
Road.
and there's that ledge road, and it kind of has that angled ledge road that has that awkward merge
Yes.
onto ledge road.
Yeah.
On your right when you're exiting 95, is a garden. It's quite large, and it
Yeah,
has a green sign in there.
that one we actually had taken off a couple years ago because we felt like there was a lot going on there, but it may have gotten missed. It could come back on,
It
but-
should come, yeah, that one was professionally planted, and actually that one doesn't look too
But I
bad.
don't think,
It looks okay.
has Elder been stopping by that one?
Elder just finished his second sweep through all the
But is
gardens.
that one on some list he has, if
Yes.
it's not on our list? What does he go off of, just,
He went off of the original list, I think.
it
Which
wasn't
is
on
the
there.
original list?
There was no list until I made one a couple years ago and it wasn't on
No.
there.
We went with him to that garden.
Yeah.
We went to every garden with
Yeah.
him and his wife.
Yep.
And we did go to that garden. I
Right.
specifically remember that. Because it wasn't in bad shape. This was
Right.
a couple of years ago.
Now, the biggest problem with some of those is the state comes in and mows, and
Right.
God forbid they should put the chute the other way, but they always have the grass clippings going into the garden.
Yes, there was a ton of leaves and grass clippings in
Yeah.
that particular, I think I took notes on
They do that.
I can't picture this garden.
I can't either, and when we decided to take it off, that was kind of the consensus I recall, was
It's
that
before you get to the entrance of the
nobody
dump.
really notices it, and it's next to a dump, like, should we be focusing in a highway, should we
Yeah.
focus on sprucing up, like,
Yeah.
I did
again,
put a tree in
in
front of the
safer
dump, though.
settings.
The other garden.
I put that little tree at the dump, I put in there. Cause it was just an empty planter for like forever, and so last Christmas I put in a tree and like ornamentation around it.
Oh, cute.
And I promised him I'd come back and do every season, but I haven't, but the tree remains and it's very cute, and I think every time I go there that I need to replant the bottom of the tree. So I hope everyone appreciates that little tree at
Yeah,
the dump.
I did notice the
Did
little
you see
tree
the
when it
little
was
tree?
Oh, we
decorated.
did give John a
yes.
hanging basket one year.
That's my
So
little-
cute.
That's my little tree.
Yes, aw.
Yeah.
One related update on the gardens is that after a little over a year, we finally, after persistence, got the curbing replaced at,
yes.
I think it's about 7 different locations.
Oh, yeah.
So again, that's like a hardscape improvement that to me looks dramatically better.
Dramatically better.
I
Those
totally agree.
curbs
Yeah,
look
so
great.
much
and
better.
it
The
makes
ones
the
in the
garden look
gardens
better
at the
that
house,
it surrounds.
Yeah.
So that to me, again, it was a long wait, but a nice
So much better.
improvement.
I also spoke to Dan Obuchowski about it, and they did it the right way.
Yes.
They did the concrete borders.
Versus
and
the
it was a-
asphalt, yes.
Yeah, it was a big
Yeah.
project.
That's
Yeah.
why it took so
I watched
long.
them,
Yeah.
yeah, so anyways, great, I thought the town did a great job with that.
The garden, they did, they took good care of the garden we planted too at the
Mhm.
train
The
station,
Yeah.
station.
so.
Yeah, so that's very nice.
So I think we should, just overall as a commission, less related to the Darien Blooms project, but continue to kind of brainstorm either like installations of things or improvements like that that make a big improvement to what we all see every day. Like those curbs were awful, like things like that that we can surface and kind of press on and encourage.
Another thing I would like maybe some help with, I can only do so much at town hall. The entrance into like the lower lot on Renshaw, those taxes, I mean, they're so overgrown with, they did cut them back and they did
What
trim
did you
them.
call them, taxes?
The taxes.
Oh, is that a?
Yeah,
a
those taxes
plant
down
or
there,
flower?
those bushes, those
Okay.
big green evergreens.
Okay,
And there's wild rose in there, and there's vine in there, and it just looks so awful. I just wish we could just rip that all out and put green giants or something in there, you know?
Is this surrounding the generator, the?
No, not
No,
that,
not
not
that,
that, I
okay.
saw,
Okay.
the one down on Renshaw, as you're heading down to that ball field,
Oh,
that
okay,
entrance coming into
okay.
the,
well, Tracy, this
I
is the
haven't
type of
looked.
thing we could put in a request, a special request.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Maybe when we do budget time, if you have an idea of what you want, we can just price it out, we can put it in as a request. We'd like $5,000 or whatever it is to rip this out and put this in, and it would be a big improvement to the
Yeah.
town that would remain. So just let me know.
Well, also
About that.
regarding these small boxwoods that are coming out of the urns, I'm wondering if it does work out for those two schools to plant the daffodils at the same time, that seems to be a good quantity that could go under like each of those two school signs that is permanent, like
I
they could
agree.
do,
Great idea.
you know, the
Yeah.
5 mini boxwoods with a row of daffodils in front, like, and then that can all happen like, you know, whatever, October 1st, as something to do with them, cause again, I think there's so many places in town, and again, it'd be interesting if you looked at like census data, but like I'm no longer at the parks and playgrounds anymore, but so many people are, you know, now I'm kind of in the phase where I'm at the schools and, you know, some people are at town hall more of the time, but kind of balancing out where are we sprucing up, for lack of a better term, that's really where, you know,
People
all
spend their time.
people in Darien are visiting and frequenting and seeing on a regular basis.
It's a terrific idea, terrific idea.
Cause
Do you wanna, is everybody
Yes.
okay with those
Absolutely.
little
I think
boxes?
that's a great idea.
Okay, so would you like to ask, when you ask about the
Yes.
daffodils, they'd also like the little boxwoods?
yes,
Terrific.
Yeah, and those won't be hard to plant, they are
No.
small, so it's not a big deal.
I think that's great. Which actually segues, well, actually, before we move on from that, I want to talk about item 8B, review gardens, the Verena Stewart Garden at exit 13. I had a long conversation this summer with the a representative of the Darien Garden Club, the Garden Club of Darien, and she had been asking me about that specific garden.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know much about it, so we had to
Right.
kind of track down where it was. And so that's when I put in this note is, does anybody have any information or anything to share about that garden?
Is that the one across from the car wash?
It is,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And what do they want to do it? Is it Leslie
So
McCarthy who is?
she was trying to identify where it was because it's on our website, it's on our page on the, our website, on the town hall website. And I realized I wasn't so familiar with it, and then it had been I believe they had given us money to plant that. So, I don't know actually if there's any history or background to it, but
Let me look through, I have some of the old treasurer books, and Christy very often put notes about things, let me see if I can find anything. I think that's where I found some of the initial information for you.
yeah,
Well,
thank you.
let me dig deeper.
Okay.
I have a question, it's related to the gardens as well, I'm sorry. Oh, are you,
Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say on that, so yeah,
Okay.
yeah. move on.
Mary Rooney from the Garden Club actually sent us an email this morning saying, I know you have a meeting with John about the project, let me know what happens. They're very persistent about wanting to plant the exit 11 location, and I think Sarah and I have both explained kind of this long drawn out multi-month process, but it, almost every time we have some sort of meeting that we make them aware of, like she's wanting like nothing's today gonna be like an answer. How do we continue to partner with them, but then not feel like it's requiring to report out to them so frequently, or I don't know how to make them better understand kind of the lengthy timeline of this, and they've had a lot of money from their garden tour, which I think at this point was like 6 years ago. We were made aware that they wanted to fund a garden in partnership with the Corbin District just a year ago. So the fact that they've had the money for 6 years, we've only known about it for 1. I'm just feeling a little pressured, and I'm not sure how to move forward.
My only problem
Oh,
with the garden club is
remember that.
they plant things and then don't maintain them. They did that at Tilly, remember we
Well,
saw?
they're not wanting to maintain it, they're wanting to, I think, pretty much, so if we're collecting a goal of $150,000, they wanna donate towards that, and they want to, kind of almost as a nuance to what we've discussed, sign that garden individually as that they have contributed towards it. But, so I don't know, if you have a suggestion or anyone does about how, because for me, the past 2 years, it's been regular monthly conversations with not much to say, because again, we have to go about, I don't know if you would call it legal, but whatever, this town
Proper
legal
channels,
process.
yeah.
But like
Snail's
today,
pace.
what do we,
I don't know, I can talk about it with you.
yeah,
Maybe we're not supposed to, yeah, I think the answer is, there's not much we could say, I mean, we'd like things to move faster, but we can't. So,
well, and I
I'm
just
happy
don't,
to just respond and just say there's no new update.
Yeah.
Or we'll let you know after the meeting and whatever it is. I do think there could be some nice collaboration between our group and their group.
Mhm.
So I do like that there is communication. I think that we're just gonna have to find a nice way to work together as two entities. I mean, they're private and we're public but there could be some nice, cohesive,
yeah,
I mean, we have same kind of goals in the same town.
yes,
So
I
we'll
think-
just stay in
yeah.
touch with them.
okay. Because I know last month perhaps when it was mentioned in an email that they've been waiting 6 years for this, well, we've only known about it a year and we can't illegally plant something. And I don't wanna turn away their donation towards our project, but I had encouraged them a year ago, I could tell they were anxious to do something since they had the money for a few years, to maybe just do something on their own with Baywater. So again, I don't wanna turn down their contribution towards this, but I can't keep like,
I understand. Yeah, I know, and it does sound like a significant contribution too, and they do have this neat desire to give back to Baywater properties to what Baywater properties contribute to them, so.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
I
I
think
don't-
we just have to keep,
yeah,
But the
They
reason
don't
why
sell
we
it.
have to keep putting them off is because we want unified colors, is
Yes,
that
they-
why?
they
And we
would-
don't know what those are yet, those plants are yet?
they have some money that they promised they would contribute towards Baywater property, and they wanna plant
Right,
at that location.
right,
And we've been saying, well, we don't want to plant at that location until we know what we're doing at all
okay,
locations.
that's what I thought, okay.
We just want the whole project to be cohesive, and we just
Yes.
don't want random
At the-
gardens
At
popping
the
up.
Marina Stewart Garden.
No,
No,
this is
exit
exit 11.
14. And we also have no
11.
maintenance contract with anyone, so if they planted it, who's watering it and
Right.
maintaining it?
Right,
yes.
And then if we tell them,
Yeah.
well, you can have a sign, then everyone else who contributes is gonna wanna have, well, why did they get an individual sign? I think it opens up a can of worms, but I just, and I told them this when I first learned of their money last year, I don't know that our timeline aligns with their timeline, and I also, from when Sarah and I met with David, I don't know that I think he wants it to look nice the way he so wonderfully makes our town look nice. I think it's a large focus of theirs, so I'm just feeling confused on explaining the timeline and the processes for all of this. Why we're getting an email like the day of a meeting, like let us know what happens afterwards. I mean, I could almost, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
and that's how it's kind of been for the past couple of years.
Right.
Right,
But we have to wait for the town to approve everything and then finance, and then you have to have the signs approved.
Right.
The garden
Right.
has to be approved, there's a lot
Yeah.
of steps to get organized.
And some of our
So-
gardens, we have like DOT issues with too, that we have to be,
Right, and I don't even, and
Particularly-
even that location, like we discussed,
Yes.
there's
That's a good
literally
point.
like 13 signs and wires everywhere. I don't know. I just don't know. I think we need to have some sort of more conversation that tables it long-term until we actually have something to say, not reporting out with
Yes.
monthly updates.
Well, I'm fine with you saying that, or I'm
Yeah,
happy to say it
say that.
myself, there is no update, we will be in touch with them, so.
yeah, I think that's perfect.
Right.
you'll know when we know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very generous of them to wanna contribute, I
modeling
think
meeting.
sure. Yeah, if you need to go, does anybody have any, new business or?
I do, I have quick,
Yeah,
The scout that I'm working with, he's putting up these little, they're called bug hotels, and they're great.
Bug hotels?
Yeah.
So cute.
And they're great for, for pollinators. So he wants to put a couple on our slopes, and then he's gonna put one in the butterfly garden.
Oh, good.
And they're very cute, and I'm gonna meet with him, and then, but I was thinking maybe after the meeting, like we could go down to the slopes, cause you wanna put it, you don't wanna put it in the front of the
What do
garden,
they
you wanna
look
put
like?
it in the,
Are they like
it's just, it's like on a pole, and then it's this little house, and they're kind of cute because they have all these different, like, textures to allow different kinds of bugs to come in there, and they're supposed to be really, really good for your garden to help pollinate the garden.
How does it attract the bugs? The texture or?
Yeah, I guess so, because some bugs can only get in through certain,
It's like fun.
holes or whatever. Yeah.
it's like a bug obstacle course.
Yeah, I don't know. But he's gonna be doing it in the next couple of weeks. But I'm gonna meet with him first and make sure,
Would you be able to take pictures
I
when it's
think-
installed,
Yeah.
and we can put it
Yes.
on our
That's
Instagram
another
page?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But let's
um,
hope that they're not like tacky looking.
No.
Like no like colors, like they're like blend with the garden.
No, they just blend. It's just
Very
wooden.
good. Yeah, yeah. Oh
They're
great.
just wooden.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not.
You just
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So that's gonna happen. But he went to all these other organizations in town, and they were talking about getting permits and going through. I was like, this is it's fine. You can put them up in our gardens. They're good for the garden.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Great. All right. Any other new business?
Well, even though I just said I have to go, I just have a question. So the train station in Darien's being completely revamped. Is the town paying for landscaping of that train station, or is that something that we need to consider looking into? Because that is obviously,
I would assume that the
Department
train,
of Transportation.
okay, so they're responsible for landscaping.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're responsible for what?
I would assume the Department of
Landscaping?
Transportation is responsible for his appearance, right? We can't touch that land, can we?
well, after
I mean, I thought
did
it all
some
the other,
changes,
I mean, not
they
that to say they're gonna do it, but they would be
There's
like on their
responsible.
way up. They-
Right,
No,
so they
that's
redid,
the entrance.
okay. I just
Oh,
wasn't
I don't
sure,
know.
like if they were looking to us or whatnot.
No.
Okay.
I would love it if we could have a say in it and get involved, but and I'm not pushing it off, if we want to get involved, we can. I just know it's Department of Transportation land, and whenever that has come up in the past with other train stations, it's been like, no, it's ours, don't touch it.
Got it. Can you just remind me of the email for us? Our email.
Is it Darien Beautification?
Is it on there?
I didn't see it.
I don't know where I have it.
Okay.
Just,
I'll text
Where do
you,
I have
I'll
it?
text you so you can tell me when you have a chance.
okay. All right, is there any other new business before we adjourn? No? All right, thanks everybody for attending, we can adjourn, it's 10:19 a.m., thank you.